you're fucking stronger than you realize, and you're more capable than you realize. But if you act like a victim, you're never gonna find out. Yeah, there's no growth without going through some pain. You got it. You go to the gym, it's painful when you lift. You want to build a business, you're gonna go through stress and pain, whatever it is. In a marriage, there's painful moments, right? Yeah. But when you want a result bad enough, the pain is irrelevant. And in the moments where you're suffering or you're struggling and there's pain involved, that's where you grow the most. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane, and we're here in beautiful Santa Barbara, California. We got the Santa Barbara Mastermind kicking off. I'm here with my unc, Reagan Weiss, right? That's the nickname I gave him. I think the second time I met you, man, in 100%. Tampa, right at the Moving Titans retreat. First time I met Reagan was probably a year and a half ago, maybe.
It's almost, I think it's two now.
Yeah. We both spoke at the Moving Titan retreat.
Yeah.
Andy Elliott was speaking.
Yes.
Tommy Mello. That was a badass event, man.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and so Reagan flew all the way out here from, are you in the Tampa area?
Yeah, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. Yeah. Dude, he's kicking ass out there. I'm going to let him properly share his intro in a moment. But he flew all the way out here to Santa Barbara with Jordan Lung. We got a bunch of business owners out here, a bunch of blue-collar guys that want to grow and level up. And honestly, when people think about growing their business and making money, they think about the business strategy. They think about the KPIs. They think about who they need to recruit and hire, and that's important stuff, obviously. Right. But a lot of the business owners that I end up coaching or mentoring or coming across, they don't focus on themselves enough. They don't take care of their health. They don't have the right habits. They're not sober. They're not handling stress properly. So that's what I help them with. And, you know, Reagan's out here to support me during this weekend in this really awesome, beautiful place that we're hosting the Mastermind.
Beautiful spot.
So Reagan, thanks for being out here, man.
Thank you for having me here, brother. And I'm honored and proud to meet you 2 years ago, brother. When I first met you, you were the ones that honestly quietly inspired me just by your representation of yourself. And when I was on that stage 2 years ago, I wasn't the best version of myself. And you were the one talking, you were on stage, I was listening, I was like, gosh dang it, he is right. And I am not the best version of myself. I'm out here preaching, I'm saying all these things about business, but I'm not able to physically back up who I'm saying I am. I'm just not. Bro, to tie my shoes, I couldn't tie my shoes, right? I was 272 pounds on that stage. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow.
And I'm 245 now.
Wow.
And one of the reasons I got fit was simply because you were there and your message, bro. So I thank you for that.
Dude, I love that. I mean, we were just talking right now before we started. Yeah. You said you just turned, or you're 40?
I'm 47. I turned May 26th, I turned 47.
And dude, like when I'm 47, like I want to look as young and healthy as you. And you said, what do you say? Because I'm immature.
I said, it's my immaturity. It's true though.
Yeah, but it is true. Like people get older and they get jaded. They get burnt out. They get boring. It's like, and that's one of the reasons I think fitness and personal development or what we're out here doing in the Mastermind is so important. It's about keeping your spirit alive,
100%.
Keeping that excitement in your life. My
entire life, brother. Since I'm a kid, Reagan, grow up. It's time to grow up. Don't do that anymore. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. Well, I will tell you, if I didn't have my childlike charm, I wouldn't be as far as I am in life.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. You have to keep that charm alive.
Yeah, and you're being your authentic self. 100%. And, you know, we tell kids all the time, like, don't grow up. Like I tell my kids, don't get too serious. Don't be in a rush to grow up. Right. And then at a certain age, we start telling people to grow up and act their age, right?
It's true.
I think just being yourself and being authentic is always the way to go.
100%.
Real quick, why don't you share with anybody who's listening, what is the hub? What do you do in Orlando? Like, give them a little background.
So it's Tampa. It's Florida. It's all the same. But, you know, I want to let you know something.
Yeah,
we are in
Florida. I love Florida.
We are in Orlando now. And I don't know if you know Patrick Carr yet with Blue Collar Millionaire.
I don't.
And I'm going to introduce you. He's a phenomenal videographer, great guy. He'll actually be speaking. He'll be in Marco Island as well.
Okay.
So, and he'll be with the Titans as well.
Shout out Lance Bachman.
Yeah, Lance Bachman. We'll talk about that relationship here in a second. But at the end of the day, you know, relationships are everything. And in 2020, when COVID hit, 2019, 2020, COVID hit, there was a lot of people in our community, and they went scared, man. They were tucking their tail. I shouldn't market my business. We're going to be hurting people's feelings. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Like, you're going to die. Your business is going to die. Your family's going to die. You got to market and brand your business. So I built this network. One day I said, hey, I want to bring a bunch of business owners together. I want us to stick together. I want to talk about transparency, build your business with transparency. Let's support these local restaurants, these coffee shops, and let's lift them. That's how it started, brother.
I love that.
So the network just grew organically. Now we have over 60,000 people in this group, and it's private, and we have over 2,300 business owners in the Tampa Bay area, and we're constantly having networking meetings. We're constantly having mastermind meetings. The first and third Wednesday of every month, we're meeting in person. The second and fourth Wednesdays, we're doing virtual masterminds, and we're just building each other up. And not only that, we're bringing all the trainings and things that we learn from all over the country, including yourself, and we're bringing that to Tampa.
Yeah.
So everything we learned from you, Tommy, right, all these guys like the Lance Bachmans, we're combining all this information, this knowledge of how to get fit, how to get mentally right, and we're bringing it to Tampa.
Dude, I love that so much. And, relationships are everything.
100%.
Whether it's in your personal life or in business.
Right.
And a lot of people fail to spend the time and dedicate the time to build meaningful relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a group of like-minded individuals together, and now it's like, okay, how can we make this group better?
Right.
How can we provide experts or get people focusing on improving themselves and their health or their mindset and not just their business? So I love that, man. And what were you doing before the hub? Like, what is
Well, I mean, gosh, I felt like marketing's always been in my bones. Man, I'll tell you my quick story as quickly as I possibly can. But I went to college, played ball for North Greenville University, small Division II school, played ball there. I was actually a linebacker, and I got hurt. Who gives a shit? Everyone gets hurt, right? Yeah. The whole typical story. Everyone get hurt. Like, you're right. Like, it's like you lose your identity. You go through all that stuff, right?
But it's real, though.
Right, it's real. But at the end of the day, blew my ACL out 3 times, like ACL, MCL, all 3, all done. Anyway, long story short, I got into real estate really quick. It was my dad was a realtor, so I got into real estate and got into home building, and that dried up in 2008, bro. And real talk, I took a job at Lowe's. Sean. Like, people think, oh, your shit was handed to you. Like, where I took a job at Lowe's. I put on a red vest.
How old were you?
I put on a red smock. I was ready for this. I was 33.
Wow, dude.
32, 33. I had to start all over again.
And you had kids at this time?
I had 2 daughters at the time. My wife, she was freaking out. What are we going to do? I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. Don't worry about it. And I took a manager's position. I want you to hear me out. This is real talk. At $17 an hour.
Damn.
At Lowe's at 32, 33 years old.
Wow.
I had to start all over again, and I wasn't making enough money. So while I was there, I knew I was good in marketing. I knew that everything died out in 2007, 2008 with the market. I said, how can I supplement my income? So I started a company called RW Sports Marketing. And what I did, bro, is I got the best of the best athletes in the area at that time. So I want you to think of an athlete like a NASCAR. NASCAR has advertisements all over them, right?
Yeah.
So I would get the best of the best athletes. I would say, hey, I would give you free gear to wear in triathlons, while you're running, while you're doing all that stuff. And as long as you don't care if it has Viagra on it, or are you cool wearing it? Oh, hell yeah. But I did it with local business owners. So it would say like Joe Blow's Coffee on Main Street, right? Ottaway's Ice Cream on Main Street. And all this, all local stuff. So I was supplementing my income by marketing businesses through local athletes.
Wow, that's pretty
So I got
smart.
recognized really early because no one was doing it. It was completely new. So I got recognized really early in my marketing capabilities. And long story short, people started seeing me like, who are you? What are you doing? So I got picked up by a construction company. Could you do my marketing for me? Could you do my marketing? I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Why am I not doing this long term?
All with the athletes.
So I was doing it all with athletes, but then I'm like, you know what? I could do much more than this. So I got hired by these companies, got back into construction. Then I'm like, you know what? I was doing all of this. I actually started a construction company, sold it within 5 years, did very well, but the multi-million-dollar construction company in 5 years, sold it, and then went to marketing full term 100%.
Wow, man. So, dude, that's really amazing. A lot of people, if they found themselves working at Lowe's in that moment, they would have been so depressed. And so talk me through that. What was your self-talk? Were you depressed? What were you going through when you found yourself making $17 an hour working at Lowe's? Because I'm assuming before that you're doing well in the real estate game.
I was making 6 figures.
Okay.
I just want to be really transparent. I started making 6 figures at 23 years old. So I was 23 years old. I built my first house at 23 years old. So I started that process at 22. At 23, I was in my home. Okay. So I was doing very, very well. Like, when I talk about the bottom dropped out, it dropped out, bro.
Yeah.
So I had to suck it up and do whatever it takes.
You have to pivot.
I had to do whatever it takes to support my family. And that was the only thing available at the time.
Wow.
And till this day, probably one of the most fun jobs I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah. Not going to lie.
How long did you work there for?
I was there for 3 years.
Wow.
I was there for 3 years, and I bit the bullet, and I did what I had to do. And to answer your question, it was dark.
Yeah.
It was a very dark time for me.
How was your wife? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did your wife support you 100%?
You want to hear this?
Yeah.
This is the truth. She never recognized the difference on the way we lived our life, because I don't bring that shit home.
Yeah.
I do not allow them to know the failures. I do not allow. They knew that Daddy was happy wearing a red vest, and I came home and we still went on vacation and we still did the things we needed to do. Why? Because why, bro? I had to supplement my income and I figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out. I was still down because every day I had to put on a red vest.
Yeah. How long, once you started working at Lowe's, did you start doing the marketing?
about 7 months.
Okay, so you were hustling.
7 months.
And you were making decent money enough, it sounds like, to supplement.
I mean, I started superseding what I was making prior. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, holy shit, why am I not just going to do this?
Yeah. How did you meet
all
the
the time?
athletes?
So back then, I was doing triathlons.
Okay.
So I was.
Big Reagan was doing triathlons. The linebacker, 270.
You could look it up. You could look it up.
I love that. Yeah.
I ran the Disney half marathon in
Yeah.
2.5 hours. I was doing triathlons. So I was doing it all the time, and I recognized who the winners were all the time. So I just built these relationships, and a lot of these guys thought it was comical. They're like, "Who's this big guy riding on a road bike?
Yeah.
Doing these triathlons." So I just built relationships like that, and I started saying, "Hey, would you do this? Would you put on this outfit for me?" They're like, "Hell yeah, that's really cool. Could you put my name on it?" Sure, I could put your name.
So
on
were
it.
they wearing them when they were racing
All
too?
the time.
Dude, I love that.
Every time they were on the podium, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Joe Blow's ice cream shop,
Yeah.
mom and pop shops, the ice cream, whatever it is, coffee shops, and they were happy to do it.
Did you have any Ironman athletes?
Never went full. Never.
Or who was your maybe most profile athlete? Any?
So actually, one of the best runners, her name is Jackie Waller, and she was an Olympic. What's the word? Alternate. And she ran Ohio State, and she crushed it. And she wore a company called Farrell Roofing.
Oh wow.
And she wore that proud, and she put that
That's
on.
badass.
And you know what they would do? You know what's cool about Farrell? There's a gentleman named Steve Farrell. Shout out in my neighborhood, in my community. He would give her, he would throw her like a couple of shekels. Like, here's $200 for winning. Here's $300
wow.
for winning.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was really, really small grassroots marketing.
Yeah.
That grew into a bigger thing.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and for anyone listening too, like, number one, business, entrepreneurship, life is hard.
Yeah.
And you're going to go through adversity. You're going to get knocked down. Like, it's inevitable, right? But you got to have the ability to make change quickly, pivot, and do whatever it takes. And that's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But I like how you went and got the job at Lowe's, but then immediately, like within 7 months, you found a way to supplement your income. You didn't just go to Lowe's and mope around every day and just get depressed. Like, you knew that was temporary.
100%.
But let me ask you this. When you went and got the Lowe's job, did you have any inkling, like, what you might want to do in the future? Or how did you get the idea?
I knew marketing was always going to be my future, because even when I was doing strictly just real estate, I was the guy they brought in to do the radio stuff. So when I went to college, I went to school for broadcasting and radio.
Yeah.
So they picked up on that, and I said, "Hey guys, I actually went to school for radio. I have some training." So like, "Oh, well, you do our radio ads." So I'm literally, the guy was like, "Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Reagan Weiss from Lexington Homes," and like, I was the radio guy
you got
for
a
the
radio
company,
voice,
right?
yeah.
So like, that's what transpired. So I always kind of knew I wanted to be in that realm. So once like I said, I was in real estate, construction. I still own a construction company. I still co-own a construction company called The Contractor in Tampa with my business partner, Nick Holmes. And we build barn dominiums and we build houses.
What are barn dominiums?
So barn dominiums are, if you guys look it up, is barndo.build, or look on The Contractor. Just actually talked about this with Brad on Dropping Bombs.
Yeah.
And so metal building, right? Your normal commercial metal building, right? And there's everything on the inside, right? There's no structural integrity on the inside. It's all the structural integrity is on the outside. So basically, you build this metal building, and on the inside, it's like building a fort, but it's your house, and you can build whatever you want on the inside. So you can design it, and it's all passed by Florida codes. It's fantastic, man. They're really hot in Texas, Idaho.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
And they're coming to Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, dude, I didn't know that about, number one, I didn't know that you played football in college.
Yeah.
But then the adversity you went through with the housing market crash. Like, I like hearing people's stories about overcoming adversity, because that's really when your character is revealed. Like, who are you? Deep down inside, it's easy to put on a smile and to be positive when things are going good, when you're making money in your business, you're hustling, you're doing real estate, things are going your way. Then you get smacked in the face, and like life's adversity throws you a curveball. That's when your true character is unveiled.
I could have gave up easily, brother.
Yeah, but you had your wife, your 2 baby girls.
Yeah, 2, and then one on the way.
One more on the way.
Yeah.
And so why didn't you throw in the towel, quit and give up, or take the other direction?
Because that's my job, is to provide for them. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, and you got babies, so you understand this. Growing up, this is what my kids we always talk about this. Girls, what's daddy's job? What's daddy's job? Your job's to protect me. What's daddy's work? Real estate, marketing, whatever it is. They knew the difference. My job was to protect them. That's what I instilled in them.
Yeah.
So every time that's why I kept going, because my job was to protect them and provide, bro.
Yeah, and you promised them you would.
And I'm not a hero. We're fathers. We're supposed to do that shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but how many people cower to that and say, "I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy I'm supposed to be. You're not the good guy, well hailed.
Yeah.
And they succumb to failure.
A man, by definition, wherever you look this definition of, I'm going to give it to you, is you're a protector, you're a provider, and just what you do.
Correct.
Like a lot of guys complain, oh, I have so much pressure, like, oh, mental health crisis.
Can't take it.
We don't, we're not allowed to talk about it. It's like, dude, you're fucking stronger than you realize, and you're more capable than you realize. But if you act like a victim, you're never going to find out.
I want to say this to you. I don't give you a shout out, bro. I'm not tooting your horn because I'm here in Santa Barbara. I want to say that I think that's a part of who you are, a big part of who you are. And I think you were able to pull that out of these guys. I think just like I could look at a business now, like in the Hub Network, people will come in, we'll look at the failures, and we'll say, here's the shortcomings of the business. You're able to look at a human being, a man specifically, and say, here's your shortcomings, and this is how we're going to fix it. That's what you do. That's why you have these masterminds. That's why you're bringing people, doing ice baths with them, taking them to the beach, doing plunges, taking them to breakfast, working their asses out, and showing who they are as a human being.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no growth without going through some pain. You got it. You go to the gym, it's painful when you lift, right? You want to build a business, you're going to go through stress and pain, whatever it is. In a marriage, there's painful moments, right?
Yeah.
But
100%.
when you want a result bad enough, the pain is irrelevant, right? And in the moments where you're suffering or you're struggling and there's pain involved, that's where you grow the most. And the biggest reason is because you have to learn to talk to yourself differently in those moments to get through it.
Correct.
And then you realize, wow, I made that situation a little easier because I shifted my self-talk. I shifted my perspective.
Right.
I found something meaningful that got me through it. Or, I thought about the reward on the other end, or I thought about the person I was becoming.
Right.
It's people don't have depth. Like a lot of the people that I get to mentor, just people I talk to in general, they don't have that depth within themselves. They haven't taken enough time to find it, to pull it out of them. And what I realized is doing difficult things like working out, sauna, cold plunge, like testing them, runs, really, really challenging things. That's when you start to pull that inner strength
100%.
out, and everybody is so much more capable than they realize. Two things I can't stand is people that just don't try hard enough and people that make excuses. Like with enough effort and enough focus and enough relentlessness, you can pretty much figure out and do any fucking thing you put your mind to.
100%. Brother, I have degenerative disc disease. I tore my ACL, MCL, LCL twice. Okay? I have multiple traumas to my brain through concussions through college, like multiple concussions, right? And I'm still here. I'm working out. I'm pushing through. I'm 47 years old. If I can do it, anybody can friggin' do it.
Yeah. And one thing too, like, so with the Lowe's story and then what you built with the Hub and now getting more into your speaking career, losing weight, all these things. One thing that I noticed with you is you're consistently evolving and not necessarily reinventing yourself, but you're evolving. And at 47, anybody listen to this, you think you're too old, you're washed up, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, Reagan's 47, he gets younger every year, right? He's still as excited and positive and optimistic about what he's doing than probably just as much so when you were younger. But I think that's really important, like that people know your growth is never complete and you got to keep learning. You got to keep taking on challenges. You got to keep setting goals and keep that vision alive, man, and just keep moving towards it because that's when the magic happens.
People think, like, you walk around with bravado, bro. Look at you, right? You're a specimen. You got some bravado to you. Some people will say an arrogance. Even myself, you walk into a room, you own the room. These are things that you can be taught. You can come here and meet with Sean and learn these things as well, guys. It's a part of who you need to become. You need to learn your lexicon as well. You need to learn to earn the room. You need to learn to public speak. Like these are all, and these are things we're going to be talking about this mastermind as well. Like I teach public speaking all over the country. If you can come into a room and articulate yourself and look a certain way, you will own the room. It's literally that simple.
100%. 100%. Like, dude, when a guy who's out of shape walks into a room, a lot of people don't pay attention to him. When a guy who's fit and carries himself a certain way, it grabs people's attention. And then if you're articulate and you know how to speak, you develop skill sets, you've worked on yourself, you just become so attractive to people. And not in a weird way, but it's like, hey, I wonder what that guy does. Like, that guy figured something out. I want to get to know him. Like, damn, like, I want to move like that. I want to talk like that. And
people, when people see someone like you, or they see someone with stature, they want to see themselves in you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They want to become I want a piece of that. How do I become that?
Well, and the secret is you do things every single day that make you proud of who you are forever, okay? And somewhere in the midst of that journey, you're going to develop yourself in such a way where people start to look at you and go, dang, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah,
that's the secret. If you're not doing stuff every day, all day long that make you genuinely proud of who you are and how you're living, I mean, every decision, like every little thing, that's, in my opinion, the key to success. And I learned that the hard way. I was in a really dark place in my life, And I started doing things every day, simple things, working out, reading, writing. In a very short period of time, I felt this self-belief swell up inside of me that had been absent for so long. And I realized, wow, like I'm onto something here. I'm feeling different.
Right.
My perspective's changing. My perception of myself started to change and alter. Because no matter how much, like, you can't lie to yourself. If you're not doing the work on yourself that you know you need to do and you're not genuinely proud of who you are, you can't fake that. And it comes off in your body language, your energy, your demeanor, your confidence, your lack of. And that's where a lot of success is created and drives, because it's relationship building, it's going to these events, it's standing out. So whether you want to be a speaker or get on social media and crush it, grow your business, whatever it is, the catalyst is you working on yourself.
It's true.
You know, and so Reagan, do you have any speaking engagements coming up, or what do you got going on?
Yeah, so I know we're going to be at a few more. I know you have a lot more coming up, man. And to be frank, Unc is proud of you, brother, because it's pretty awesome to see you go and speaking everywhere. I love seeing it and the changes you're making in all these people. But yeah, I have the Titan event coming up in September. That's with Wade and Chad. You've been down there in Tampa. This one's at the Trade Winds Resort in St. Pete coming up. So
it's
those
pretty
are cool.
Great events.
And Brad's the main speaker of that one. He's the keynote. Yep.
Nice.
And then we have Marco Island again with Lance Bachman, who I would like to say publicly thank you for that introduction, because when you spoke...
did I introduce you guys?
Yeah, bro, because he doesn't even know. So last year when you were speaking at Marco, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to come see you. And you're like, yeah, I'll give you Lance's number. And then as soon as Lance said, wait, who gave you my number? I'm like, Sean. He's like, friend of Sean's, friend of mine.
Nice.
And then Lance brings me down. Hey, no cost, just walk in the door, come visit me.
Yeah.
And then we go have dinner.
Yeah.
I want you to think about this is legit talk.
You went with
this is
Lance and Brad, right?
This is breaking. Because this is what you did. This is what Sean did. So if I didn't make the decision that day to get my ass in my vehicle and drive down to see Sean speak, I wouldn't have met these people. And that was the fire that got me to dropping bombs. Yeah. And it got me in front of Lance. Then Lance started. Then I met with Jay Duran, who you need to meet with Jay Duran. You haven't met with Jay yet, but all those
you were
people.
on Lance's podcast.
I was on Lance's podcast, so I went and flew up and saw Lance in February. Then I was in Brad's in March, because I simply went to see you speak because you set an introduction.
Yeah. Well, and that's such a powerful story right there. Number one, you made the choice to go down there.
100%.
You didn't have to, right? Too many people make excuses like, oh, why am I going to go down? I'm not speaking, da-da-da-da-da. Get in the rooms with people that you can build relationships with that can change your life.
100%.
Whether you're learning, you're collaborating, that's key. You got to do that as much as
100%.
possible until you start to build momentum. But the other important thing is when you walk in those rooms, and we go back to confidence and like how you carry yourself, you better fucking stand out. Like this guy has charisma. This guy's got good energy. People want to get to know him. Like when you get around Reagan, his energy is infectious. So naturally, Brad wanted him on the podcast. Naturally, Lance wants to do business with him or collaborate. Yeah. You know, so get in the rooms, but make sure you're working on yourself so much that when you get in those rooms, you stand out. And then the last piece is, you know, when I first wanted to start speaking on stages, I would DM people. I like hustled my way onto stages, man. I'd go to events and get close with people who are event coordinators who could put me on stage, and I manifested it. Like I'd plant seeds with them. I'd be like, hey, get me on that stage, get me on that stage, get me on that stage. So then anytime I can make an introduction and help out somebody who I respect and admire and create that opportunity, like I will do that for all my people, man, because I know that we all want to win. We all want to be successful. We all want to get our message out there. So I love that, man. It makes me really happy to know that worked out well for me.
I'm grateful, and that's why I wanted to come here and help bring you value and your team value and the mastermind you're doing this weekend, and hopefully help these people not just grow themselves that you're doing, but we can help grow their brand as well, man.
Yeah, and we're going to do it, man. Tonight is like just the introduction to the mastermind. We got 2 full days packed of events. Tons of growth, tons of networking. If you didn't make it out to this one, which you didn't because you're fucking listening and watching, you're not here, you better be out to the next one. You better follow Reagan Weiss on Facebook, on Instagram. We'll post your socials in the description below. And hey, if you want to grow, it's all about getting in the right rooms around the right people, build relationships, work on yourself. That's what we're going to cover this entire weekend. I hope to see you out here at the next mastermind. Thanks, Reagan, for being here.
Thank you, bro.